Amused to see. Come play with me. I've been waiting for you a long time. Keep me entertained, will you? Warning! Reinforcement activated. Cross strike.
Successfully shut down the OMNIUM tower in Navia. You may now return to Hykros.
Doctor, Hykros is very sincere about this cooperation.
Archon Elric, I'm only here to see if you have anything to say to me about what you did in the past. But it looks like you haven't learned your lesson, even after all these years. What a shame. I hope that when we meet next time, you can come down from your high horse. If there is a next time.
You and Archon Elric?
Did that startle you? I'm sorry.
What did Hykros do in the past?
Elric never told you. I guess I'm not the only one who needs an answer. Go ask him yourself. I just want to leave here. The sooner, the better.
Archon Elric?
The doctor is right. Hykros made a lot of bad decisions. We saw how the cataclysm ripped through the world, and we tried to fight back. But it was all in vain. The ground underneath our feet is just a fleeting moment of what this world once was. Everything changed, however. We discovered OMNIUM, and we took advantage of it. We childishly thought we could control it. We were naive enough to think that we'd have a better future. That was a terrible mistake. About 50 years ago, unknown aberrations started to spread on a very large scale. When we discovered that radiation from OMNIUM was the culprit, it was too late. To save it, we took a risk and did something even more forbidden. We tried to affect the space-time structure with OMNIUM so that it could wipe the timeline and go back in. We failed. We are abandoned by time. Sorry, it's not that I want to keep it from you, just I don't want to discuss it with outsiders. OMNIUM has many traits far beyond our comprehension, the most profound being the impact on stabilization of time and space. To put it in plain words, OMNIUM can help us distort time, even change it.
You mean time retracement?
That's just the most obvious aspect, involving dialing the present point on a timeline back to the past. If you could find the nexus on the current timeline, you can change events to create a new timeline.
Dr. Claire mentioned this to me before.
She and her husband, Loon, were both senior researchers in Hycros once. They're expert in the field. And I was their project manager. We worked together for a long time. Back then, we all looked forward to the endless possibilities the discovery could bring. Everyone labored tirelessly to produce results. But we never once realized how our study could significantly affect the world.
Disagreement started after the first successful regression. Archon Carl of District 9 pitched an extremely radical experiment.
Carl wanted a volunteer from the team to join the experiment, but Dr. Henry rejected the proposal after evaluating the potential safety issues and risks. The project stagnated, and more happened after that. Anyway, Carl eventually convinced Dr. Henry. Also, they found Claire's husband, Lewin, without acknowledging her, and convinced him to volunteer himself for the experiment.
And the experiment failed?
That's right. The incident 50 years ago threw Loon into the turbulence of time. As for Claire, she chose to leave.
Now I understand the doctor's attitude toward you.
Before the time-jumping technology is mature, Carl suggested a bold plan. If we could return from a particular point in time, or even make changes then, in theory, we would be free from the constraints of time itself. We could be any time, any place. Causality of time would have no dominance over us anymore. There would be no past and no future for us, only the present. Now is forever.
So that's why you and the doctor keep talking about things that happened half a century ago, yet you still look young?
That is right. Our time has stopped in the past, while yours still flows.
Is that what Carl had in mind?
The control over time is the control of everything. However, what Carl wanted never came to pass. We didn't obtain the eternity. Instead, we became its prisoners. We are from the past, a mere moment in the vast time, and can never escape.
Can you explain what exactly is the cataclysm?
I feel more comfortable referring to that incident as the second regression. It was a bold attempt, but we failed. After the first time jumping, we conducted a series of more in-depth research and experiments. We also built multiple chrono chambers. There is a reverse time engine in the chrono chamber to counter the space-time fluctuations caused by the time jumping. This is our backup measure to reduce the risks. You've seen what happened afterwards. The OMNIUM radiation leaked out and triggered a series of uncontrollable events. To prevent this disaster, Carl decided to conduct the second regression. It failed due to multiple reasons. The space-time turbulence wreaked havoc on our world, devouring our lands, cities, even whole civilizations disappeared.
You mean the space-time turbulence erased most of the land and civilization?
Or, we are the ones that were erased. We were isolated from our world. We overestimated our understanding of OMNIUM. Our hubris and arrogance destroyed us.
How did the time jumping fail?
According to the remaining monitoring data, someone tampered with the default parameters while the time engine was activated.
So it's not an accident?
It's the heirs of Ida. They are not a bunch of simple-minded, anti-OMNIUM rioters. The sage probably has a deeper understanding of OMNIUM than any of us. I even suspect that he is the one close to obtaining eternity. Before the time-jumping technology is mature, Carl suggested a bold plan. If we could return from a particular point in time, or even make changes then, in theory, we would be free from the constraints of time itself. We could be any time, any place. Causality of time would have no dominance over us anymore. There would be no past and no future for us, only the present. Now is forever.
So that's why you and the doctor keep talking about things that happened half a century ago.
That is right. Our time has stopped in...
Is that what Carl had in...
The control over time is the control of everything. However, we didn't obtain the eternity. Instead, we became its prisoners. We are from the past, a mere moment in the vast...
Since Hykros has the technology to travel back in time, why didn't they use it to repair the damage done by the second regression?
We threw a pebble into a peaceful pond, causing splatters and ripples. So, how should we calm it down?
Archon Elric, I don't understand.
Throw another pebble into the pond? No. We wait for the water to settle down by itself. This is what Hykros should do. We have to do everything in our power to protect this world from further damage by Omnium until we are ready for the next time jumping. You found out enough today. I hope you realize the purpose for everything you do. There are still 2 Omnium towers yet to be shut off, and we still don't know what the enigmatic sage is plotting. We don't have much time left. Our next target is the tower at the Crown Mines, but the region has been plagued by an unknown outbreak lately. Their leader is a man named Kim. We've done business with him regularly for years. He should be willing to offer you help. Franz is currently occupied. Once he is done, he will meet you there. Intel indicates the heirs of Ida has stepped up operations in the area recently, so be careful. I await your good news.